This is Kissing Frogs, a podcast about relationships and how they change us. I'm your host, Dr. Molly Burritz, a clinical psychologist specializing in relationships and women's mental health. With my guests, we'll share personal, heartfelt stories about love and loss, from the first spark to the messy middle and whatever comes next. So let's get into today's episode. Guys, today's episode is one that I have been waiting to film for literally months. I booked her out months in advance. And it's Hannah Brown, the former Bachelorette and winner of Dancing with the Stars, who, by the way, is now a 2-time New York Times bestselling author. She was a dream guest for me. One, because I watched The Bachelorette and her season, and I'm a total fan. I've loved her for like years. But also because she is so forthcoming about her relationship history. She recently got married, and what gagged me with her is like, so many people, when they have a success story, they try to make it seem like everything is still a success and everything is perfect. This is not that. She talks about the difficult things that she's gone through and how they still affect her to this day. It's so great for people to hear that even when you succeed and you move on and you're in a relationship and you get married and it's the right one, you're still going to struggle. Things from your past are still going to come up and influence you. So this is such a celebratory episode because our girl, America's sweetheart, Hannah Brown, did find love. And she did get her marriage, and she's still honest to talk about the things that she still struggles with and what she goes through. Here's Hannah Brown. I know you'll love her as much as I do. Hannah Brown, welcome to Kissing Frogs.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me.
This is a dream come true for me for 2 reasons.
Okay.
One, because I watched The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and was a total fan of you for years. But 2, because you wrote this memoir, God Bless This Mess, that is such a transparent reflection on every failed relationship that you've had literally since high school.
Yes.
And you have been so vulnerable with the public about your relationship struggles. And to me, it's a beautiful gift for someone to see someone who appears to have it all together, you know, is so beautiful, so successful. Someone like that can struggle in love too. And I know that the people who are listening to this can relate to that.
Absolutely. I had the gift and opportunity to write a memoir around 25, 26 years old. So I always call it my quarter life memoir because it's what I knew up until that point.
Yeah.
Which meant I can be a little bit more granular about all the different relationships I had had up until that point. And it's been really cool to see other women who have read this book, and it's really validated them, made them feel less alone with, I think those informative years and the relationships you have in those really make a big impact. When you become an adult really looking for love, you don't realize how the stupid little relationship in high school really impacted you. And so I have that all out for the world to understand about me. And it's been cool to see how people have been impacted in a positive way.
I look at this young woman on the cover, and I want you to take a look at her and tell me, like, as you reflect back on that person, that chapter of your life, what do you remember, or what do you want to reflect on about this person right here?
Oh, when I think back to that time around 6 years ago, like I was a bit lost. When I look back at that picture, I'm like, oh, you were just figuring it out.
Yes.
You were just like, I was like in the midst of, for the first time, reflecting on my life. I had just gone to therapy for the first time ever. So it's a really raw book.
Extremely vulnerable.
I just exposed it. And so like, I look at that girl and I'm like, oh, there's so much growth that you even have left that you have no idea.
It's like you had just opened the door to a new room in your life, and you told everyone what was in it.
Oh, yeah.
without even like going through and exploring first. Like you were just like, hey, everyone, this is
Yes.
everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud that I did that. But I would say the last 6 years, I've been really going through each one of these chapters in depth for myself.
Yes. Yes, because there's a lot to explore there.
Yes.
You have experienced, Hannah, what struck me was the amount of betrayal that you have experienced
Mm-hmm.
from multiple relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're in a really happy, healthy relationship with your husband, Adam.
Mm-hmm. Very thankful.
Yeah. Can you tell us about sort of the framework, the timeline from writing this book and sort of just realizing all of the hurt and trauma and betrayal you had experienced successively in like 6 or 7 relationships to meeting Adam?
Well, that's kind of the tricky part of it. And we've learned so much during this season, but I met Adam pretty quickly after kind of putting aside some of the drama and the will we, won't we relationships that I had
Yeah.
had, and was just trying to get myself back out there, just try to start dating. But I kind of knew I'm a mess right now.
Yeah.
But I met Adam, this, very consistent man. Like I just thought, oh, he's hot, but I'm not really going into this thinking anything. But he was so intentional.
How did you meet him?
I met him on a dating app.
Okay.
I'm thinking, I'm just going to have fun.
Everyone's going to want to know which app, Hannah.
I was on Hinge.
Okay.
I was on Hinge, yeah. And was doing it just for fun. My friend made me a profile. We booked a trip to Cabo one day. Like it was all like fun. We did it one night. And I went on like a couple of dates, met Adam, and was just like pleasantly surprised with how well the date was going. But I wasn't thinking much about like, oh, this is my person. He just kept surprising me by, I guess, like showing up and being consistently kind and good and true to me. But in saying all that, because it was the timeline was like maybe 3 months after going through another little set of like my feelings were hurt, was not treated the way I wanted to, meeting him and then going into this relationship, it was really tough. I kept running away. I was so not icked, but like, why do you like me so much? Like I'm such a mess and you don't know what you're like getting into. Yeah. I don't know if he knew what he was getting into, but we've had to do a lot of work together. And he's been a really amazing partner of trying to heal some of those wounds. But I would not say I entered the relationship in a healthy place at all.
Yeah.
We've had to do the work together.
Yeah.
And I think it's, I'm so thankful for a partner that was willing to do that. I don't know that's always the case with a lot of people. So I do think if I was giving advice, do a little bit on your own at first. But what I have also learned is that, especially when it comes to like attachment, like you can heal in relationship. Yes. And I was able to do that with Adam. And we're still on the journey to that, but very thankful. But it was very quick.
I also believe that, there's this idea that you have to be fully healed in order to love someone else, which is completely false, and I think the most profound healing happens in connection with another person.
Yes.
Now, that doesn't mean that you aren't responsible for yourself. And I too met my husband during a very tumultuous, chaotic time in my life. I marvel at how we are still together.
Yeah.
And I give him a lot of the credit because he has always had very secure attachment style.
What a lucky
the biggest
man.
That's generational wealth right there.
Yes,
I'm
it
like,
is.
Forget money.
Yeah.
Having a secure attachment style is like the best gift that you can give your child.
Absolutely.
And that was such a gift for me because he was able to stay calm and steady when I was going through a lot of chaos. And he really just never wavered. And it gave me the experience of realizing, like love does not have to be tumultuous.
Yes. but I tried to make it. Of
100%.
course.
Oh yeah. I
So,
tried I tried to sabotage it at every turn.
every turn.
Yeah.
And, we've been together now for about 6 years.
Mhm.
And gosh, we both can be more avoidant. He's
Okay.
probably more secure than I am,
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm.
But we're both pretty avoidant. So
Mhm.
I would just try to creep away, but he tried so hard to
Mm. Yeah.
lean in for me, but we still have had to work through our own things together.
Yeah.
But he's been willing to do that work with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And I'm like so grateful to have a partner that cares about having that generational wealth of being able to learn how to be secure
Mhm.
and to become more securely attached humans so that we can like change the future for our children
Yes.
one day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of listeners out there, especially if they've read your memoir,
Mm-hmm.
they'll be surprised to hear you say you're avoidant because you had these string of relationships where you were pursuing men who
Mm-hmm.
were giving you very mixed signals,
Mm-hmm.
and you weren't interpreting those signals through the right lens,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you continued to pursue relationships where the messaging was very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you got in a relationship with someone who was more available,
Yeah.
you sort of turned more avoidant.
Yeah. And I've been trying to figure that out a
Yeah.
lot because, like, I think after this time in my life, I then did not trust anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me, I was actually talking to my friend about this today. I'm like, why has it got so hard to express how I felt
Mm-hmm.
after, I think, a series of relationships and just life
Traumas.
trauma. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess it can change. I don't know. I'm not like an
Mm-hmm.
expert on attachment, or it can just show up differently, I think, in
Yeah.
different relationships,
Yeah.
depending on the availability of the other person.
I think a lot of like the TikTok culture has led us to believe that you have one attachment style and it's like that always and forever. And in every relationship, this is
Mhm.
how you'll be. But I want people to know that it's context specific.
I didn't even really know
It
that. So,
really
yeah.
is. Like the partner that you have influences how you show up.
Mhm.
And for people who are confused about their attachment style, like that's okay. It's okay for it to look differently in different phases of your life and in different relationships.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. Like, even just and I think attachment style doesn't just show up in my romantic relationship. It shows up with my friendships too.
Absolutely.
I can really hide when
Mm.
I'm not feeling my best,
Mm.
or if I feel like if I meet somebody and they feel like they're going to want too much for me, I'm like, can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to be too much.
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle that. I
Yeah.
don't, and I don't know if I've kind of always had a little bit of that, but it's definitely been something that I've struggled with more over the past few years. But it's something that I'm also very aware of and trying to tackle head on.
Well, I'm sure it's so present in your life too that people want a lot from you because of your life experiences and being in the public eye. There are just people who want things from you.
Yeah, I think just not always just trusting people, and
Yeah.
so because of that, it feels like you have to put some barriers of protection and
You do.
boundaries, which is you do have to,
Yeah.
but it's how it almost changes your internal perception of yourself and how you interact with others.
Yeah.
Even if they are safe, that you have to, or that I've had to recognize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as this relationship with Adam progressed, sort of starting out from being this just dating fun, he's a great guy. Can you tell us about sort of any of the milestones that you remember where it started evolving into something different?
Well, he had a kind of a come to Jesus moment with
Mm.
me where he didn't give me an ultimatum. I would not say that, but he was just like, I'm serious about this. And if you're not, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't want to do it if you're not like in this too. And then I was like, oh, no, don't leave me. Don't leave me. So that definitely switched because I was like, oh, well, I've never been in a relationship like this before. I don't know how to handle this relationship. I'm obviously not doing the best job at it, but I don't know if I'll ever meet anybody this kind and patient with me,
Mhm.
which is also not true. But I was just like, I've never had somebody care for me like this.
Yeah.
And what am I going to do if I leave this relationship? I'm going to go back to somebody who treats me the way that I'm familiar with.
Yes.
And so that was like a big moment for me of like, am I really going to throw this away? Because that's what I tend to do.
Yeah.
Any like good relationship I ever had in high school, college, like
Mhm.
I'd be like, oh, they're so nice. I want to go back
Not
to the I
interested.
want to go back to the one that just like makes me feel all these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I can't do this again. So he really made me kind of make that decision for myself in a
Mhm.
way of like, I'm not going to keep running. I'm going to do this. And then I would say we had I would say easy relationship at the beginning. And I do
Mm.
think it should be like fun and easy at first when you haven't got into like
The
all
nitty
the
gritty.
nitty gritty. And it was like we've always just gotten along really well. We had so much fun together. And then, our stories started to come out about ourselves. We ended up moving to Nashville about 3-ish years into dating, maybe 2.5, can't really remember. And that was a big commitment jumps. Commitment jumps really bring out maybe not the best version of myself.
Okay, tell us more.
Um, it was just the fear of attaching myself to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like a move, getting engaged was also like a big commitment jump for me. Anything like that was when I would have my freakouts. I'm falling apart. Nothing else about the relationship had changed.
Yep.
It was just taking another step that would make me more vulnerable
Yes.
and committed to someone. Therefore, they could hurt me more
Yeah.
if they flipped on me.
Yes, which you've experienced.
Yeah.
You had an engagement that went badly for you in such a painful way.
Yeah.
It, of course, makes sense to me that if you were going to move somewhere with someone, move in together, get engaged, get married, maybe even have kids one day, like that there will be these level up experiences that you'll have some fear around.
Yes. I don't really, I've been doing a lot of therapy, but there are some places that we talk about, but we haven't really gone deep into. And I think even like the engagement on the show, I'll be like, oh, it didn't bother me. It for sure. You just saying that, I think I was trying to take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And that leap of faith was like so dangerous.
Yeah.
And so anytime that I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm like, no, I can't.
Oh, don't.
I can't do
Yeah.
it. I can't do it because
Yeah.
it's proven that it was unsafe to me in the past.
Yes.
So anytime that,
Hannah, it's almost like you have stopped trusting your judgment.
oh, 1000%.
Yeah.
That's where I'm still at right now.
Yeah.
That I think the ramifications of everything is trusting myself.
Yeah.
Is really tough because also when you are struggling, I don't know if you can fully trust yourself because the neural pathways in your brain are trying to protect you. But sometimes in my case, I've been in a very safe relationship. So they don't need to
They're working too hard.
to work as hard as they are. So I think I don't trust myself because I know my brain's going to these places it doesn't have to go.
Yeah.
But what do I do? I've done a lot of the work, but I'm still scared to trust myself at this point in my life.
Naturally.
I'm still there, I would say.
Yeah. There's this false idea, and a lot of times it's perpetuated when people go on, podcasts like this to talk about a success in their life, which is your marriage. We want to frame it like, oh, and now everything is solved and done, and I'm past that. And I just want to remind people, if you ever had like a really hard trauma in your life, you will grow from it, but it will probably never not be a part of you,
Yeah.
you know?
I agree. It's something you have to work at daily,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to check yourself.
Yes.
And like, where are these thoughts coming from?
Yes.
That's what I've actually recognized recently. And like, my faith's been is a very important part of myself. But I will notice, if I start noticing my thoughts, every single one of them is from a place of fear. There is not one that is from a trusting, gracious place for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I know I've got to, take a second,
Mm-hmm.
calm myself. For me, it's, pray, please. Like, I might not trust myself now, but I trust God in this,
Mm-hmm.
and like, just take this. That's been like the thing that's helps me the most. But yeah, it's not something that it would be amazing if one day I'd never have to check myself and I'm just living from this true place, but that might not be the case,
Well,
and that's okay.
you're never going to not need God.
Yeah.
You're never going to not need Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you in the book do such a beautiful job of drawing the connection about how every time you went toward a toxic relationship, you were also going away from your relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like you chose between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And when you would make that turn toward the untrustworthy man,
Mm-hmm.
you were turning away from the source that you ultimately trust the most.
Absolutely. And that is completely opposite from my relationship with Adam.
Okay, tell us more.
Everything, when relationship fears come up, a lot of people on TikTok, they're like relationship anxiety. I don't know if that's a real thing, but I definitely think after my past, like a lot of the anxiety that I feel in my body, even if it has nothing to do with my relationship, I can just like focus in on it. But every time that I, get into the word, I pray, I send my worries to the Lord, like everything in my relationship, the fears like dissolve. And because I have a partner that also trusts and believes and prays, and we just come together more every time. Like that is when we're the closest, when we are serving other people, when we are worshiping, when we are really in tune individually with the thing that matters the most to us, casting our cares on the Lord, we're in the best place. I'm not having to compromise on the thing that's the truest to me in my relationship.
Yeah. You no longer have to choose one in lieu of the other.
No.
God is woven into your relationship and your marriage.
Absolutely. And that's really cool and feels really good. And that's typically when I'm off and feeling all my anxiety and all the fear and all the past. It's when I've turned from, doing the things that I know that are important for me to do, to be able to walk in light, walk in truth, not have the burdens of my past like weighing on me. And he's so good about, I love this about him. It drives me crazy because I can be a little bit like more negative and I always say, see the dust in the corner. I can see that. I'm on high alert.
Yeah.
He is so positive and always pointing me back to the truth and encouraging me like, hey, no, you're not feeling great today or something's going on. Like, let's go on a walk and then like, let me know how your devotion went this morning. Like he just encouraging me to be able to do the things that he knows like are going to get me back in a good place. Therefore going to help us be able to grow together, but not in a forceful way. And like, he truly loves and cares for me and wants the very best for me.
Yeah. And he can see something about you in those moments that you need that you're not able to see for yourself right
1000%. Yes. He sees me very clearly when it comes to, she's off somewhere else.
Yeah.
She's not here. So let me help her in the best way.
Yeah. Does it ever initially make you feel unseen or invalidated? Like, don't talk to me about the positive stuff right now. I want to be
For
in my
sure.
feeling.
We have had that in the
Mhm.
past. He's gotten so much better. We are so pro couples counseling.
Mm.
It has been amazing for us, and we both do individual with the same therapist, which has been great because she is just for us. She helps us so much. And I think we have talked about this in the past of how, yeah, don't like crawl in the hole with me.
Mhm.
I'm in the hole. You're like, hey, you can come out. I
Yeah.
see you're in there. That must be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're not feeling good. I'm so
Mhm.
sorry.
Mhm. Check out
Here.
the ladder in the
Yeah, the
corner.
ladder's right there. I'm gonna hold on to it so you can cut. Like
Yeah.
that is how he talks me through.
Yeah.
And of course, he has his own things that
Yeah.
I've been able to really help in him. And I think that's what I believe a good relationship looks like. And what I've seen is everybody has their own things that they bring to a
Mhm.
relationship. But I've been able to call out the parts of him that he doesn't see about himself that are good.
Mhm.
And he's able to do that for me.
Mhm.
And we are able to help each other become that version of the best version of self that's there all along.
Yeah.
It's just all the crap, all the dust and debris
Mhm.
of the damage along the way is covered up.
That's right.
And he does that so well for me. And I feel like I have been able to do that for him. But it took a long time for me to be able to do that for him because when he met me, I was just chaos. Like it was obvious, like I was like a wounded
You
dog
were in a lot of pain.
that
Mhm.
needed to just be held
Yeah.
and taken care of. And as I was we were in our relationship, I kept being like, he just seems like a robot. He seems like
Mm.
everything's fine for him. And
Mhm.
how can
Mhm.
everything be fine
Mhm.
for you all the time?
Mm.
And he had kind of taken on that role, but that started to really affect our relationship
Mm.
because I just felt like I couldn't feel him because he was
Yeah.
he felt like his feelings and thoughts and emotions didn't matter. It was about me.
Yeah.
And that was, a story of his past
Uh-huh.
too. But then you can't connect. You can't
Yeah.
attach to somebody who's not sharing and, showing the most vulnerable parts of
Yeah.
themselves, no matter how wonderful they are.
That's right.
And so I've been able to help him on that journey of it's okay if you're having a bad day
Yeah.
or you're having a hard time
Mhm.
or you're insecure about something. And I will say in those moments, I'm able to really be the best version of
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
And it feels so good when
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good when I see him in a hard spot, but it feels so good to be able to help and serve
Be the
him.
helper. Yes.
I love being able to do that and for him to be able to receive that. And that's what I mean by just what I think makes a relationship so healthy and so special is when you can see and help bring out the real Adam and then he can bring out the real Hannah
Yeah.
and lift each other up.
We get into these roles in
Mhm.
relationships that can get really rigid. And one of the roles it seems like he had been in was the role of the stable one.
Oh, I was chaotic. He was stable.
Yeah.
He was, flatlined, but that means he couldn't be
Fully
fully
expressed.
expressive.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going
Who
on?
are you?
Shaky. Who are you?
Yeah.
And so, whether, we went into therapy thinking it was just me and it's not. He has his things he has to work on too, but we can work on them together.
Yeah. That's really, really special.
It is special.
My husband, who I've been with for 18 years.
Wow.
I actually called off our wedding and ended our engagement. And then we ended up getting married.
Wow.
Was there ever a time with Adam where you thought all was lost, like that it almost didn't work out and then there was a shift?
Yes. I haven't really talked about that much. I've alluded to it. Getting engaged was really scary for me. Again, I guess. Like I was so anxious. Before I was like, yeah, we're probably going to get married. But like, I don't have a timeline, kept just being like, whenever.
Loosey-goosey.
Yes. But like, yes. Yeah.
Theoretically, it was a great idea.
And then when it came around, I was so scared. It was also because of things he needed to work on. He was still in that, I have to be the safe, I have to be the secure one, I have to be the one who's stable. But I didn't feel like I knew him fully.
Yeah.
And that scared me. And I'm like, I'm still a mess. So I would say, like, after we got engaged, we really had a hard season of like, things are going to have to change because we've both been very avoidant. There were so many things that we just let slide under the rug. We never had a fight.
Wow.
We had never fought.
Wow.
And that's, typically like if you're never having arguments, not a red flag, something you should
explore that.
You should explore that. And that was something now we do. We have like healthy arguments, but we didn't know how. It was just, if somebody was upset about something, you went to the other room. Adam's like a very active person. He would go on a long run, go to jujitsu. He would just deal with whatever was going on
physically,
and then be able to come back and we wouldn't really address it.
What were you worried would happen if you expressed the conflict from your end?
I think I would try, but he was so good about just being like, oh,
suppressing it.
He wouldn't engage, which he still won't engage when I try to do my unhealthy things. But I think, I don't know. That's a really good question. Like, why did I not? I think I was tired. I think I was just like, I want this is so different and this is good that I don't want to revert back to what I do. So I'm just going to not like bring up the things that might, in my mind, ruin this.
Yes. You had your old way, which didn't work for you.
Yes.
You knew that you didn't want that, but you hadn't yet developed a new way.
Yes.
You were in sort of the growth place where you didn't have your new wings yet. Yeah.
The old way would be to just like, and I think I knew he wouldn't do this with me. It's like you break up, you get back together, you say, I can't do this. He was not going to engage with that in that with me. Like, which I think is healthy. Like, that's healthy. And so I'm like, am I going to just like, I kept being like, okay, this is hard for me. I just want to like leave. I want to give up on this. But then I'm like, am I really going to give up on this?
Right.
That's how I kept feeling all the time. But yeah, there was, I was a mess during my engagement. I will be very honest. The anxiety was constant.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything else.
Yeah.
What if I get into this? What if it all changes? What if this doesn't happen? Like, there's still these things we need to work on. What if we never get better? Because we'd been together for 5 years at that point. We're past the honeymoon stage. I see the things that he needs to work on. I see the things I need to work on. There's things in our relationship that are not perfect.
Yes.
And what if it was just what if?
Yes.
I could not get it to turn off.
Yeah.
It wasn't until, I got married that it went down. So anybody listening who's in engagement and is like, oh my gosh, this does not feel the way that I thought it was going to feel. I'm freaking out. I want to go. I want to escape. Like I almost did. I almost did that. But once I got married, it doesn't mean that there's still things we have to work on. There's that. But it was that in-between commitment jump thing for me that drove me crazy.
Yeah.
I really felt crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy, actually.
Yeah.
And I had so much going on. I was doing this book. I was working with Bachelor in Paradise again. And it was just so much at one time. I was really struggling. And he was a rock star during that time. I would have ran the opposite direction so fast if this was if he were doing what I was doing to him. But we had gone to he knew
You knew your
my
pattern.
pattern
Yeah.
and was able to stay in it with me. But yeah, there was some times where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do this. And my pastor was so awesome, and my therapist as well. I was waiting at times where people would be like, you know what, you're right. This isn't it.
If you're having this much anxiety, it must be wrong.
It must be wrong.
Right.
I had not one person say that to me ever. They were like, do it with shaky hands. Do it with shaky hands. It was just all my fears, all my past coming up in this season that I did not know how to handle.
Yeah. I think this is so important for people to hear because there is so much content out there that tells people if you're ambivalent about marriage, you should not get married. If you're ambivalent in your engagement, you should end your engagement.
Oh, everybody, like if I've talked about it a little bit, but anytime I talk about it, they're like, oh, she'll be divorced in a year.
Right. Right.
And yeah, you know what? But my therapist was awesome. She was like, I'm going to be honest, the cards are stacked against you when you look at your past. That like being in a healthy relationship for you is going to take work.
Yes.
And that almost gave me a little bit of like, not peace, but like validation of like, why is this so hard for me? Why is it so hard for me to be in a healthy relationship and accept it?
Yes.
But I know I'm actually not alone in these feelings, but nobody says it. You're just watching. And probably people who, miss the clips of me talking about it in certain podcasts, just seeing me, look, try my wedding dress. And oh my gosh, so excited for bachelorette party. Like that's what we put out online. But like there was a behind the scenes of being really anxious. And it's all about you and everybody's saying to you, and especially for me, being on Bachelor, everybody's just rooting for my love story. And so, they expect me to be like happy and excited about everything.
That's a lot of pressure.
With so much pressure. But I think everybody goes through that in that season. Maybe not with like cameras in your face, but it's your mom and your aunt asking you every day, how you feeling? How's the big day? And like some days change. Sometimes you get in a little argument with your fiance and you're like, am I going to be able to do this?
Yeah.
And I think at least for me, like I've gotten so much peace after I just I didn't let all the fears and the negativity of all the what ifs get in the way of my happiness. But I had to fight through that.
Yes. And I think the question that I ask people who are experiencing this, and that I had to ask myself too, because as I told you, I ended my engagement because I had so much relationship ambivalence. And it was never like, I don't want to be with him. It was just like, I don't know. And I don't know. I couldn't decide, I always tell people you have to figure out, is this your anxiety or your intuition? Is your anxiety driving the car, or is it your intuition that deeply knows something is not right for you? And that is a very hard question to answer.
Yeah. Like, how do you know, especially if you have troubles trusting yourself because your anxiety takes the front seat?
That's right.
At least for me, my anxiety takes the front seat a lot of times if it's not in check.
It makes it impossible to access your intuition. And this is where I think intuition and prayer and God for me are very closely linked.
Yes.
That's where I find my intuition is through my connection to God, because that when I'm attached to that, when I'm like dialed into the source of like all things good for me, then I know what's true and I don't know how to describe it.
I would say whenever I get quiet with God, I'm like, oh, I want to do this. This is good. This is going to glorify God, my relationship. I'm not there yet. I'm doing things wrong all the time.
Right.
But it does take getting quiet.
Yeah.
Where anxiety's so loud.
Yes, so loud. I always say anxiety is loud and fast. Intuition is quiet and very slow. Right?
That's like the best way to be able to figure out which one is the truth.
Yeah.
But it can be really hard. Like I hope people listening to this, like I hope it's like the me who was so scared about just any type of relationship, getting, even just having Adam be my boyfriend and say I wanting to do life with him. It was so scary after heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. But I think that is the best advice and realization to have for yourself. Like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
And how loud is it?
Yes. And, Hannah, just from hearing your story and reading your story, I feel like with Adam, something happened to you that was unfamiliar. You had all these relationships and these string of betrayals and disappointments and untrustworthy men. And then you met Adam and he was unfamiliar. And unfamiliar, when you've been through trauma, ain't a good thing.
No.
It's scary. It's like, no, I want to know what direction I'm going. I want to know where this is going to lead me. And this feels very different. And so we lean toward the familiar, even when it's not good for us.
Because I know what to do in those situations.
Right.
I know how to act, I know how to respond. I know what's going to get the reaction that I maybe want or need. I know how to do that. Adam felt like, what do I have here? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm like frozen.
Yeah. It's required you to grow into a different person.
Yes, which has been very hard.
Yeah.
It's like figuring out your new but true identity.
Yeah.
When everything else, like you're not having to be on high alert. Like, who are you? What would you do? How would you act?
Yeah.
How can I really show kindness? How can I really show patience? How can I really love someone, not from a place of like desperation or neediness, but just because like I want to? How do I want to serve this person? I've had to like kind of like relearn everything.
Wow. Can you think of an example of a way you've had to do that recently that could make it sort of concrete for us to understand? Like something that a way that you had to be that was not your natural way, but you had to grow into it?
When there is something going on in his life that that it's hard, I don't have the answers to, sometimes I can get scared and think, oh no, I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to be the stable one. I want to be the one I want to like, I'm going to make it worse because I have all these other questions for this thing that you're coming to me trying to be vulnerable. And so I have really had to go against every part of my body that wants to freak out, run, be like, ooh, well, that's a little bit too scary for me to be able to help you with because I'm not stable enough for that. And to be able to be like, ooh, I get why you're scared. That kind of scares me too. But like, we're going to do this together because I know who you are. And like, let's pray right now because I don't really have the answers. And you're not feeling good. I don't know how to make you feel good with, my words right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm also like a little, I can feel myself, the tingles, so I need to learn how to not project that on you because you're trying to come to me what I've asked you to do. And so if I don't have it, you don't have it. Where do we go?
Yes.
And for us, that's prayer. Finding some place where
you find solid ground.
You find solid ground and can still show up and not allow it to become about me and my triggers.
Yeah. I had talked about people get into these rigid roles, and we were talking about how Adam was in the role of the safe one. And now what you're saying is like, you needed him in that role too, because you, in some ways, were more comfortable being in the role of the one who gets taken care of. Yeah.
1000%.
Like, no, I'm the one that gets TLC. I'm the one that gets caregiving. I don't know how to be the loving parent.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's been something I've been very open to him about, of like when it comes to this next season of our life, because I've always needed that person
Yeah.
to kind of help me. And he's so good at it.
Mm.
Like, but he needs it too.
Mhm.
And that is like in marriage, in a relationship, like that is my responsibility,
Yeah.
and that I can do that. And
Yeah.
I'm reminding myself that I can show up. I can surprise my own self.
Yes.
But it actually gives me fulfillment when I can do it. And and I'm like, dang, you know what? I showed up the way
Yeah.
that I'm proud of
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
him.
It's such good practice
Yeah.
that you get to do this with a safe partner, you know? And I remember, like, I didn't have my first child until I was 40.
Mm-hmm.
And I never felt like an adult. I always felt like I can't have kids because I'm not an adult.
Yeah.
Like, how could I have a kid? Like, it was crazy, Hannah, because I was literally a clinical psychologist in this beautiful office, you know, having this thriving, successful practice where I was helping and healing all these other people. And the scary, you know, truth that I held inside was I'm not really a grown up.
I feel
And
that.
my husband had to, like, really, again, he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Mhm.
And he really encouraged me. And I took a leap of faith to have a child with him.
Mhm.
And he was right,
Yeah.
you know, and it required the leap of faith, but I grew into it. And after I had my son, it was like it was like how you're describing when you finally got married. It was like, I can do this. I'm an
Yeah.
adult. I'm an amazing mom. All this time I spent scared and fearful that I couldn't do this, and all that practice and preparation, like, once I got over the threshold, it was such a gift to be like,
Mhm.
and now I really feel like an adult.
Oh, and a good mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
real. Yeah, I relate to that wholeheartedly. And we're in that season right now. My next fear, but could be, and I know will be the best thing for me in my life and will bring so much fulfillment, is, you know, us having a family. But I'm in that, can I do it?
Yeah.
Can I do it? And, you know, but I know I will be able to, but I'm also trying to trust that in it's finding that, you know, am I ready?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't have to be ready today.
That's
But I
right.
know that I want to do that. And there might be some, my friends are funny, they're like, no, Hannah, you're gonna have to do it whether you're ready or not. They know me so well. They're like, you're gonna figure it out and you're gonna love it, but you're gonna be scared shitless the whole time before.
You know, these up levels are really hard, Hannah, when you've been
Yes.
through tough things in your life, and not just in relationships,
No,
but
yeah.
in the trauma that you describe in your memoir.
Mhm.
And that will change a person for the rest of their
Yeah.
life. And
Yeah.
it will change you. It will change your relationships, all of them.
Mhm.
And you have been through a lot, Hannah.
Yeah. I think relationships are really healing. I do think having a partner that really cares about you is how you're going to actually become your best self.
Yeah.
You know, having to sacrifice is how you become your best self.
Yeah.
Even when it's scary.
Yeah. You talk about how your whole life in Alabama, you would go on walks and you would always walk in a certain direction. And one day, out of nowhere, I think maybe a call from the divine, you decided to make a left turn instead of a right turn. Will you tell the listener what happened when you did that?
I was going through a really hard season, and I would always, there was just like this one street, this one way I just always went. It was just
Your whole life,
whole
since
life.
a kid.
I had, and this is like out of my front yard, down our driveway. I just always turned right. I just always turned right.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like that pretty of a run. It was just like what I remember my mom doing. And one day I was just like, I don't know. I think I need to turn left. At the end of the run, there's this beautiful lake. I'm like, how have I not known this my whole life, that I can walk, run from my front yard to this lake, this opening in the lake and this dock, and it's beautiful and it's so serene. And I think now that I even know more than I did now, it's just that like it's so hard to change. It's so hard to not do the familiar. That's where the neuro pathways in my brain want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come again, it's like, oh, this is new. This is nice. I like this. I should do this more. But yeah, it was so divine, and it was exactly what I needed during that season of my life.
It's such a beautiful story that like we do the same things over and over and over again, and we don't realize with one small change how there could be a completely different outcome waiting
Mhm.
for us.
Mhm.
And that story is so beautiful to me.
I mean, it's the story of our lives in a
Yes.
way
Yeah.
as well.
Isn't life great in that
Mhm.
way, you know?
Mhm.
And so one of the left turns that you've taken, at least it seems like it to me, is like, you know, you went from being like the winner of Dancing with the Stars, the Bachelorette, like this huge reality TV person. You could have just truly continued doing that your whole life
Mhm.
and making so much money and like all of that. And instead, you just decided to become a 2-time New York Times bestselling author. And now you've written your third book that's coming out. And I'm
Yes.
going to time this episode so that it comes out around when your book comes out, like for
Amazing. Y'all
sure.
order your books.
Yes, Reasons to Be Loved by You.
Yes.
So
And
tell me about like, can you just tell us how this turn in your life for you to
yeah.
become an author?
So actually, this was something that I always wanted to do, but it was one of those faraway dreams. I told, as soon as I was on Dancing with the Stars, Bachelorette, I got this agent. Like, what do you want to do? And one of the first things I said, I was like, it'd be really cool to be able to write like a book. And when I said that, I meant a novel. I wanted to do fiction. But of course, I had the opportunity to write God Bless This Mess, which I never thought anybody would be interested in my life, but was able to do that. Writing romance novels and fiction has been so fun and such a joy. And so I've been able to already write, this is my third romance novel, Reasons to Be Loved by You. And each of these characters, they're a part of me, maybe a part that don't love, or a part that I wish I could be more like. But all the thoughts and feelings come from myself. So it's almost like another therapeutic way to share parts of me, but in an alternate reality that I've been able to create. And Reasons to Be Loved by You is actually the character in the book was on a reality TV show where she had heartbreak and betrayal from the guy that she ended up choosing on her dating show. And she's just in a really tough place and doesn't know where she wants to go from here. She's just like, I don't even know how I got here. I very much relate to that. That was written from a true place.
Sure.
And so it's the closest to my story while still being fiction. And it was so fun to write. The other Mistakes We Never Made and The Four Engagement Rings of Sybil Rain were so fun. But this is the book I feel like everybody thought that I maybe would start with.
Okay. Yeah.
But I wanted people to really be invested and like prove myself.
Yeah.
Before I really kind of go back in a fun way to my origin story.
Yeah.
But with a twist.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about this book. And I hope people find it to be really cozy and comforting, but also have a lot of heart. It's been such a joy and a great way to be able to express myself and give parts of myself to an audience in my fan base, but in a really safe and fun way.
Yeah. I love this chapter for you.
Thank
No pun
you.
intended.
Yeah.
The whole reason why America fell in love with you and why you won the pageant, it always has happened when you have shown up as just yourself. And every sort of big moment in your life, where you have won has happened with you just like truly being you and letting
Yeah.
everyone see you. And I'm so grateful that you did that today because I know there's going to be people listening to your story that are going to see themselves in you.
I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Thanks for being here,
Yeah.
Hannah. I'm Dr. Molly Burritz. This is Kissing Frogs, and that's our time for today. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Kissing Frogs with Dr. Molly Burritz. I want to hear your thoughts on it, especially if you loved it. So please leave a comment on Spotify or rate and review the show on Apple. Don't forget to subscribe while you're there. And if you think that a friend would enjoy this podcast, please share the episode with them. That's the absolute best way to help the show grow. You can find me on socials at Kissing Frogs Pod and at Dr. Molly Burritz. That's DrMollybUrrets. See you next time.